To see you. All right, so I think we're officially on live now on Facebook. It took me a second to get there. So hope you guys are doing well. It's day number 5,632 of our coronavirus quarantine. I'm hoping that it comes to a conclusion quickly. Um, I hope everybody's doing okay. So Carol, Sue, y'all doing all right? Everything good? Yes? No? Tell me how. Make sure you guys put comments in here. I want to know how I can be praying for you guys, or if y'all have any comments along the way or anything like that. Um, we're going to wait a few minutes before I jump into the lesson. Going to show you guys a couple of things. So I think Carol, you were on. Were you on Sunday, Carol? I can't remember. Were you on our Zoom Sunday morning? I don't think so. Mr. Rick Rhodes is on Facebook. So this will be something that Rick saw Sunday morning. I'm getting rid of all my football cards and baseball cards from a couple of years ago. I collected them between 86 and 92, so it's like 35 years ago. So I'm hoping to. Hey, good to see you, Katina. Hoping to get rid of all my baseball. I'm just going to give them away. I've had several people say they want some of them. But here's something interesting that I decided to do when I was collecting my cards. I collected the bubble gum that came out of the baseball card packs and football card packs. And I don't know why. I just thought it'd be fun or funny to collect them. What's up, Rick? Good to see you, bro. And so Sunday I tried one of these 35, 36-year-old pieces of gum while we're waiting for folks to join us. I thought I might try it again. I did not have a good reaction, did I, Sunday morning, Rick? It tasted okay. It tasted just like bubble gum initially. It's hard as a rock. It's going to snap like a twig when I bite into it. But the more I chewed it, the worse it got, and I had to actually spit it out. Chew it, chew it, chew it. Thanks, Rick. Rick is egging me on Facebook. So I think I'm going to try it again just to see. Maybe that one was just a bad one. Maybe this one is much, much better. Maybe, right? So let's give it a. I got my bowl to spit it up in, so I don't have to get up, and I've got my big glass of ice water to rinse out my mouth afterwards because it's pretty nasty. Hey, Diego, what's up? Just telling the guys I'm getting rid of my baseball and football cards. And I collected them back in 86 to 92. Were you even born yet, Diego? I don't know if you were born in 86 or 92. Anyway, I collected all this bubble gum from my baseball cards. And I decided we're going to try one of these 35-year-old pieces of bubble gum. I did one Sunday. It was pretty nasty, but I thought I'd give it a shot just in case, maybe this one's a good one. So cheers. L'chaim. Let's see how it goes. This is not good. It tastes like feet. There it goes. So gross. Nope, it's just like Sunday. It's bad. It's oh my gosh. It takes it a few seconds. It tastes It takes a few seconds to get going. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Diego, I'm going to challenge you to try a piece of gum. If you want me to, I'll bring some to our next meeting and see if you want to try 35, 36-year-old piece of gum. It's pretty nasty. Hey, I thought I'd share with you guys something the Lord had put on my heart. How many of you guys have watched this stupid TV show called Tiger King? Like, do one of those little thumbs up things or a heart or a wave or whatever those little things are. I'm so technically savvy. If you've watched Tiger King, even if you just watched 5 minutes of it or one episode, how many of you guys have watched Tiger King? Anybody? I know, Sue, you said you had just watched it. I think, Rick, you might have watched it. Hey, Shay, good to see you. That is so bad. So I watched it. I tell you what, I was about 2 weeks behind everybody else who was watching the Tiger King. I was like, I refuse. It just first off, I was just out of loop. I didn't know about it, and then I heard about it, and I watched some of the commercials, and I was like, this just looks dumb. But there was so much hype. I thought, okay, I'm gonna try it. So I turned on the TV, and I kid you not, I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I just didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I thought this is dumb. This is bad. I didn't find it entertaining, and so I switched it off. And then a couple of more weeks went on, and there's so many people. I think Emily raised her hand. I think she's watching. So many people. Yeah, my daughter too, Sue. My daughter told me I just have to watch it. So, when your daughter tells you stuff, I mean, everybody else I could care less, but my daughter said, you got to watch it. So I did. I watched it, watched the whole first episode, and I was like, oh, wow, this is not good. And then I watched the second episode, and then by that time I was hooked, and I watched all 6 or 7 or 8 episodes, whatever it was, and then even the follow up episode they had on like interviews post Netflix series interviews. I watched that, and then just yesterday on Prime or Hulu or whatever format that was, TMZ did a follow up on the Tiger King, and I had to watch that to see if that had any more interesting information. And you guys need to watch it. It is interesting. So as I was reflecting on that, I thought, man, there's so many things on this crazy TV show that life lessons. And I thought I'd start off with the easy ones and what I hope are the most obvious ones. All right, so here's some of what I consider some of the most basic life lessons you can learn from the Tiger King. Number one, don't put your hand in a tiger's cage. I mean, it seems like a bad idea and can result in the loss of a limb. So first lesson rather is don't stick your arm in a tiger cage. Here's another one. If you're going to hire somebody to kill somebody, don't announce it in front of a group of people that you want this person dead and that you're inviting somebody to kill them. Like, I just think that's not good policy as an individual. I just think that's not good. So avoid that. Like, I'll probably take we'll go one step further. Don't hire somebody to kill somebody. I think that's probably a safe bet. Here's another life lesson. I think your dentist would recommend not doing meth. I think meth is probably not good for you. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say don't do meth or any of those other drugs. I think they'll be bad for you. And let's see here, because I'm actually going to do a series. We're going to do this lessons from the Tiger King for like the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't want to give away all of the obvious ones at face value, but we'll just leave it that. Those are what I call the obvious lessons from Tiger King. Here's though the real heart of what one of the lessons I really looked at is one of the themes that ran through the whole series. I don't know if you picked up on this. What's up, Kobe? I think one of the themes is the idea of rescue. The idea of rescue. I mean, throughout the series, this idea that somebody or something needed to be rescued was just so prevalent. I mean, at face value, just initially, it's like the tigers and the lions and these animals need to be rescued. And of course, Carol Baskin, that was her thing, right? Big Cat Rescue, I think is the name of her company or her nonprofit. That's a whole nother thing, really, nonprofit. Anyway. So like the tigers and lions and other animals, they needed to be rescued. You saw that even Joe Exotic, like he demonstrated what seemed to be, it may have been not as altruistic as one might have thought, but he at least demonstrated some mercy and would like hire people who were just out of prison, needed a second chance, and he got them to come work for him. And so there's this idea that they needed a second chance. They needed to be rescued. You saw that there. The young lady who had her arm ripped off by a tiger. I mean, she was desperate need of some attention and to be rescued. Who else? I made a list of like 5 or 6 things that just jumped right off in front of me that needed to be rescued. Let's see here. People, yeah. Yep, got that one. And yeah, near the second to last episode, Joe Exotic needed to be rescued from financial ruin, and we're going to get back to that in a minute. But he needed rescuing, and then ultimately even Carol Baskin needed to be rescued from a plot by Joe Exotic to have her killed. So I just thought it was interesting that this idea of rescue was so prevalent. It permeated like every episode. And it made me stop and think, like, be careful who you look to for your salvation and your rescue. Like, I mean, I'm assuming everybody else was as cued in as I was when this guy, Jeff, I think his name was, from Las Vegas. I can't remember if that's his name. And he offered to pay the financial bills for Joe Exotic. And I was like, dude, you're giving away the zoo. Like, you just lost it all. You just lost everything. And I was like, can you not see this coming? And sure enough, right, boom, Joe was out. Like, he lost control of this thing that he'd given so many years of his life to. And it was from that I just started thinking, you know, we so often are so desperate for help, for rescue, for salvation, that often we go to that which will ultimately destroy us or kill us, or just not make us very successful. And we don't look to the one who really can rescue us. It immediately evoked for me the great story in Isaiah chapter 7. So if you've ever spent much time with me, I'm sure, Colby, you remember some of these stories. What's up, Annalisa? Good to see you. Rosemary, good to see you. Hey, Leslie, what's up? And Jess, lots of folks coming in. So this is a story where you've got Israel split to north and south, right? And you got the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Judah in the south. And the guy up here in the north is a guy by the name of Pekah, King Pekah, Pekah. And he is allying himself with the king of Assyria up here in Damascus because they want to overthrow the big dog, the guy from Assyria, a guy by the name of Tiglath-Pileser III, right? He and I have a lot in common. We're both thirds, right? Tiglath-Pileser III. I just call him Tiggy for fun, right? So he's like big dog dominating everything in the geopolitical scale, and they want to revolt, but they need help from this guy from the south, Judah. And this guy's by the name of King Ahaz. And so these guys decide to team up, and they're going to attack the southern kingdom of Judah and get him to persuade him or get rid of him and get somebody else on the throne, who will then ally themselves so they can all three go up against Assyria. So Ahaz is pretty stressed out. And he's like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. And he immediately runs to the king of Assyria for help, for protection. He says, I need rescue. And the prophet Isaiah said, no. You're looking to the wrong person for your salvation. This guy can't help you out. And whatever help he's going to give you is temporary. And it's not real help. You need to look to the Lord God for your salvation and for your rescue. And he tried to persuade Ahaz to look to God for help. And ultimately, there in Isaiah chapter 7, we have that incredible prophecy that is a prophecy for the time, but it was also a future prophecy for the birth of Jesus. And it talked about how a virgin was going to give birth to a son. And when that son is old enough to know right and wrong, then all of these things, these troubles will have gone away. But this child, his name was going to be Emmanuel, God with us. And isn't that fascinating? That when we need to be rescued, the thing that we need the most is God's divine presence. We need him to be with us. We need him to dwell with us. We need to dwell with him. We need to walk. We need to abide with him. The Gospel of John talks a lot about us abiding with Jesus and staying with him. And of course, interestingly enough, this one called Emmanuel, his name, if you look in Matthew chapter 1, angel told Joseph to name him Jesus. And Jesus, of course, is a Greek version of the Hebrew word Yeshua, which means, guess what? Salvation, rescue, right? Salvation. And so Jesus ultimately is the one that brings salvation. He's the one that brings rescue. And you guys, if you've heard me teach or preach for very, very long, you know that the idea of rescue permeates the Old Testament. I mean, it is everywhere. It's not just in Tiger King. It's not this idea in Tiger King that people are rescued. It is like the core, one of the core ideas is that we need to be rescued. We need to be rescued from self. We need to be rescued from sin. We need to be rescued from pride. We need to be rescued from other people who want to bring us down, to attack us, to put a hitman on us, right? We need help from our financial stress. We need help from the coronavirus. We need help from the coronavirus quarantine. We need rescue. We need rescue from toxic relationships. And too often, I think we look for the wrong thing or the wrong person to bring us rescue, to bring us salvation. I find it fascinating. You know, this series is called The Tiger King. Tiger King. And I can't help but think that it's not a tiger that brings us salvation. I know, Colby, you're going to think this is cheesy, but I can't help it. I'm just going to go there. It's the Lion of Judah, right? I mean, seriously, God's word, both in Genesis and the book of Revelation, the first and last book of the Bible, talks about this Lion of Judah that will bring us salvation, who will rule all of the kingdoms of God. And that's, of course, is a messianic prophecy referring to Jesus, that Jesus is the Lion of Judah. We don't need to look to a Tiger King for rescue. We've got a Lion of Judah that is going to bring us rescue. And we need to be careful because the Bible actually talks about a counterfeit lion. It's a lion. He says, 1 Peter, it says that the devil is like a lion on the prowl, looking for whom he may devour. And I think that in the process of hurting and in the process of pain, in the process of looking for rescue, Satan, that lion, he's just looking for the right opportunity to hurt us, to rip us away from the God who cares desperately for us, the God who wants to bring us rescue. And I just want to encourage you, like wherever you're at, like whatever's going on in your life right now, like whatever. Hey, good to see you, Keith. It's been years. Good to see you, bro. Keith was in student ministry with me back in the day. Whatever you're in the midst of right now that you're struggling with, coronavirus, finances, job loss, whatever it is, that you've got somebody who's in your corner. You've got somebody who cares desperately about you, somebody who wants to bring you hope, somebody who wants to bring you salvation. And that, of course, is the King of Kings, not just the King of Tigers, but the King of Kings, the Lion of Judah, Jesus himself, who loves you and he loves me so much that he gave his life on the cross on behalf of you and on behalf of me. And to rescue us from sin, from guilt, from death, from Satan, he's going to rescue us. And I hope that whatever you're struggling with, man, I hope that you can look to him. Man, jump into God's word. Find out what God's word says about rescue. Find out what he wants to do. Spend some time in prayer, man. If you've got questions, man, shoot me some messages on, DM me or private message me on Instagram or Facebook, and just let me know how I can encourage you, how I can share with you some of God's truth. This Tiger King show is an epic train wreck that you just can't not look at. And next week we're going to do it all over again. We'll do week 2 lessons from the Tiger King and see what that looks like. But in the meantime, know this, that you've got somebody in your corner, you've got a rescuer, and he's going to be there to the very end. So hit me up. And by the way, I can't just give a shout out to, this is Cooper. This is Liz's cat back in Houston. I said Cooper. I'm sorry, Connor. Sorry about that. This is Connor, and he's a cutie. He's not a Tiger King. He's not a big cat, but he's a cute little cat. But anyway, I had to give him a shout out. But I'll be on for a little while longer. I'm just gonna like chat or talk with whoever wants to chat or talk, and just kind of hang out for a little bit. But that's the word I wanted to share with you guys. Man, hit me up. Questions you got about the passage I shared. If you want to ask me a question about Tiger King and what my opinions are, I'm happy to share my opinions. But somebody type me a question or something. Let me know how I can connect with you tonight. Good to see all you guys on here. Let's see here. Yes, Annalise, thank you for this. Awesome. Thank you. Glad that was. By the way, I'm on both Instagram Live and Facebook right now, so that's why I'm going back and forth between two screens. Good to see the Gellners there. Good to see Jen there. Good to see you guys. Um, so I'm interested. How many of y'all think Carol Baskin is? We'll start with just. Do you think she's responsible for? We'll leave it generic. By the way, this is the disclaimer, legal disclaimer. I have no idea if she's guilty or not. We're just like hypothesizing, like people's opinions. Like, how many of you think? What do you think? Do you think she's responsible or connected to the death of her first husband? Yes, no. Raise your hand. Give me some response. I'm curious. How many think Carol Baskin is somehow or another covering up something that happened to her husband? Anybody? Nobody wants to go on. Nobody wants to go on record, right? If okay, Rick asked me a question. What is your favorite type? Oh, Rick says no. You don't think she's responsible. Okay, so you think what? He left her, and somebody gave me a thumbs up over here and said yes. So Rick, I'm guessing you think that he's in South America someplace living it up. What do you think? Um, Shay says probably. You know, I gotta give a shout out here just for a quick second. I've got a friend on here who's live with me who was a part of. He and I were students together, like 40 years ago. Is that not? No. Okay, 35 years ago, in Corpus Christi. So and then I got Shay on here. She was a part of my second student ministry at Cal Island Baptist Church in Corpus Christi. I was there about 7.5 years. Shay was a part of my student ministry. I got folks from my life now from back in the day, so it's really great to see everybody on here. So Shay says probably. Sue, I think she gave a thumbs up. I think she's saying yes. Or maybe she said yes. Oh, he's 6 feet under, probably. Yeah. Rick said he was 3. Really? He was a smuggler? Okay. And either way, okay, yeah. You were 3. So, yes, I am old. Look, if you want to know, look, I don't have a mullet like Joe Exotic, but it's getting there. But look at this hair. So that's all gray hair. Most of that, all of that is from student ministry. It'll make you gray real quickly. Shay, that's very, very sweet. And Colby, by the way, I don't know if he's still on here. Colby was from my 3rd student ministry at First Baptist Church, West Columbia. He's now pastoring a church. They just did a brand new church start down there in West Columbia. Very proud of him. But he was student pastor at the church I served for about, 8-10 years or something like that. So proud to have him. Yes, Windsor Park Baptist Church. So Carol said it was rude. What did I say? What did I say? It was rude. So my favorite cat. I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, lions are really cool. They got the big shaggy hair, but I think I like the patterns of the tigers. I think I like the patterns pretty good. I did not realize cub petting was a thing, by the way, which made me think somebody from the Chicago Cubs ought to get on this. This could be a real moneymaker for them. Like, you could go out there before a game and pet your favorite Chicago Cub, right? This could be a really good moneymaker, I think. So petting Cubs. A Bengal tiger, yeah, those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. So what else I want to ask about Tiger King? Somebody else's opinion. Okay, so the building that blew up on Joe Exotic's park that had all the footage of that original producer guy, and of course it killed some of their crocodiles or alligators, whatever they had. Do you think Joe Exotic did that, like to get rid of all that video footage because it was a liability? Or do you think it was Carol Baskin? Who do you think blew up the building? I'm really curious. Carol did it 100%. Yeah, you're right, Keith. Let's see here. Shada's online. That's good to see you, Shada. Anybody got an opinion? Rick says 100. 100 who? Like, you think Joe did it? Joe blew it up? Okay. Yeah, I mean, he had all of that explosives, right? He was buying explosives all the time just so he could shoot. Yeah, so I think maybe Joe blew it up. Sue thinks Joe blew it up. I like that. Shay says Joe. Yeah, that's kind of the direction I was going on that. Shada says Carol Baskin totally killed her husband. So, yeah, we just talked about that a second ago. So Shada's going to take a leap of faith and just say, yes, Carol Baskin did it. Do you think she fed him to a tiger or a big cat, or do you think she did something else? What do you think? Yes, Rick, Tanite is the name of the stuff you blow up. I didn't know that you could do that. Can we get some of that stuff? Is that available right now? I think that'd be fun to do. Um, let's see here. Trey needs. Yes, like I said, I'm working on the mullet. It's not very long in the back, but the front. I got a front mullet. I got like a front mullet going right now. So it's not good. I'm thinking I want to see how long I can take before I get a haircut. Shada says she did it by covering her husband in sardine oil. She legit said it and had all lying cues. Cute. I missed the part about covering him in sardine oil. I'm gonna have to go back and re-look for that little bit. Uh, so, does anybody have a comment or question? Like, tell me about a time that, like, or I mean, it's hard to type this stuff out, but can you think of a time in your life when you needed the rescue? Right, sort of going back and forth from the silly to the serious. But I can't help but thinking about the rescue, and I'm just curious if maybe you got a story about something that God did in your life where you needed rescue, right? Shada, that was the message that I just shared with everybody. So I'm just really curious. The whole rescue thing is just so prevalent. So be thinking of. You want it to may take you a few seconds to type something out if you're going to type something. I'm trying to think what else was silly that I had a question about on this show. Okay, somebody please tell me what was going on with his music videos. Like, he clearly was not singing. Clearly. And were people actually buying this stuff? And then I want to know the guy who actually was singing, what was he thinking to loan his voice to this guy, this crazy guy? Like, how much did he get paid for this? Like, I want to know what's the going rate to sing for somebody else to take credit for your... Because, like, I think the music videos were as much a train wreck as the series itself. So did anybody like any of the songs? Like, I found a tiger and a tiger found me. Or I saw a tiger and a tiger saw me. Weird lyrics. Shada says, I just found out that he wasn't actually singing. I was so sad. Come on. Like, it was so obvious. His voice was so different. I mean, I know some people sing and they sound a little bit differently than the way they talk, but this was like off the scale, like not even close. Not even close. He was. I just cringed every time he got a guitar and was starting to sing. Serenity, good to say. He sang at his husband's. I know he did. It was trainer. Did anybody like any of the songs? I'm curious. Or what was your favorite video? The one he was standing on top of the truck with the black outfit. What was your favorite music video? Anybody? I'm curious. Anyone? You want to dive into that? That was crazy. Crazy. Yeah. So, okay, well, I think I probably haven't asked the most obvious question. I know the jury found Joe guilty of hiring a hitman to kill Carol Baskin, and of course he also found guilty of animal cruelty. Do you agree with the jury that he was guilty of putting a hit? Or do you think, as his defense said, he actually just paid this guy just to go away and it had nothing to do with the hit? The fact that he had randomly said he wanted her dead had no bearing on this particular cash transfer where he gave him $3,000. Do you think he got railroaded, or do you think he's truly guilty? I'm curious. Anybody? Rick says it's hard to... Shada likes all of them. Oh my gosh. Yes, Rick, it's hard to pick a favorite. Anybody think Joe is guilty as charged, or who you think he got railroaded and we need to petition Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump, to get him pardoned? I think he was baited into doing it. Yeah, see, I kind of lean that direction just a little bit. Sue says, not sure. Not sure. By the way, did you know he's in Fort Worth right now? I just saw a news report on that today. Apparently, he and a bunch of other folks were exposed to coronavirus 19, and I think I saw that he's at a Fort Worth hospital unit or something. Unless there's another Fort Worth in Oklahoma someplace, but they said Fort Worth Hospital or something. So we could go visit if you wanted to. I think Joe, Rick says, I think he was guilty. I think Joe was inebriated when he he did pay the guy, but Jeff Lowe totally conned him. See, that's exactly what I think. Shay says yes, yes, yeah. I think a lot of people are on the same. Okay, so here's another question: should there be cub petting? Like, should we shut down roadside zoos and only have like the Fort Worth Zoo and like legit zoos like that, or like the random zoo that you see driving on the highway, stop and pet an animal? Should those be shut down, or should they be more regulated? Should wildcats like not be in anybody's private possession at all? What's your thoughts on that? I'm curious. I mean, I like to pet a tiger; it'd be kind of cool, but I could see, you know. But the funny thing is, I actually see that one guy who said, "Hey, the key, if there's an endangered species, then the answer is to breed more of them." I mean, I was like, that's kind of like a logical statement, but I also see problems with it. What are your thoughts? Freedom, freedom. She's going all William Wallace on me. I'm with PETA on cub petting. Rick says, okay, so no cub petting, no, none at all. What's up, big old Matt? Good to see you. So, Matt, we just asked the question: are you in favor of cub petting? Get rid of the cub petting. Get rid of roadside zoos. Maybe regulate them more. Curious as to what people's opinions are in this whole should nobody have a tiger, a big cat kind of thing. And then like, what size cat can you have? Like, what if you have like a really fat, a really fat feline? Like, what if Connor here weighed like 50 pounds? Does that count as a big cat? Because he's kind of big at that point. Like, where do you draw the line on a big cat, right? David's up. Good to see you. Anybody got any opinions on the cat situation? Anybody? Any? I'm interested. Who's gonna give me some opinion? I'm gonna wave. Blake says he wants to pet all the cubs. Is that the Chicago Cubs, or is it like the real Cubs? Right. I think this is a real money making opportunity for the Chicago Cubs. Go pet one of them before game. Did I hear the guy right? Doc Antle or whatever. Does he charge like $600+ a session to pet a cub? Did I hear that number, or did I make that up? He said that's good, because I heard he said like it was expensive. We charge a premium, and he said like six something, and I was like, surely it's not like $6.25. So the only other option is like 625 or whatever. I'm curious as to what's the going rate to pet a cub. The polygamous dude, which he said on the episode last night that I watched with the TMZ thing. He said, I want to make it clear, I'm not a polygamist. I was married once. She's dead now, or divorced or whatever, but I've got girlfriends. So he said, I'm not married to any of them. I don't know. Dude, they need to make a mini series on Doc Antle. Yeah, I think there's going to be other indictments coming soon, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that gets played out. I'm betting some of these guys wish they had spoken less on camera, and that they had allowed less accessibility to their sites and to their operations than they did. I think it's gonna take off, and there's gonna be some more indictments, that kind of thing. Anybody else have any other comments about Tiger King? Anybody? If not, I'm gonna probably shut her down. If you just got on late, I encourage you to go back and watch the first 15 minutes or so. I just shared my heart about the idea of rescue, and how we need to be look for the one we're looking to for rescue is often not the right person and not the right thing, but that Jesus, of course, rescues us and wants to provide rescue. So go back and get a chance, watch the first few minutes, and catch the back end of this or the front end of this. And we'll be back next week live again, and we'll do part 2 of lessons from Tiger King. So peace out. I hope you guys have a good night, and I bid you a fond farewell. And for all those guys, Keith and Shay and Colby and all you guys I haven't seen in a long time, so good to see you guys. DM me or private message me. I'd love to chat with you guys. Love you guys. Rick, we'll see you later. Shada, we'll see you later. Matt, all you guys. Carol, we'll see y'all. Bye-bye. button.